Hey, it's your Uncle Buck here. Today's video is going to be about overcoming fear. See, I look right in this camera and I can't even... Hey, it's your Uncle Buck here. Today's video is going to be about fear, how to overcome fear. Nah, we're not overcoming. You're not overcoming fear. That's not what's going to happen. It's dealing with fear. It's about dealing with fear and what you can do to deal with the fear, a situation, event. For me, it's just talking in this camera is an issue. But one of the things I decided a long time ago when I was younger, I decided that I was tired of being afraid of heights. I couldn't even be on a ladder, be on a roof, and I couldn't do the things I needed to do, help my family out, do what we need, help the family out, do what we needed to do. So on my birthday, I decided that I would go and skydive. I was tired of it, didn't want to do it anymore. I had to face that. Found the place, cost $250, that was it. And there's two options I had with that. Now, I could skydive as a tandem jump with an instructor. What that means is you're attached to that person, and when they jump, you go with them. So, being prideful and full of ego, I decided, nah, I don't want to do that. I want to do this myself. So, I went with what's called a static line jump, which means you don't get as much free fall time, but you land. It's not important to the actual story, so I'm just going to skip this part. So what I had to do was train for a few hours, and because no one else showed up that day, they weren't going to actually take the plane up to let me do it. So I had to go on another day, 4 hours of training again. And this consisted of going out onto a wing, mock plane on the ground, pretending to climb out onto the wing, and let go. And the instructor showed me everything I did. So it came down to it. Get up in the plane. There's no turning back after that. So I'm out on the plane. I gotta go. I muster up some courage to climb out onto the edge of the wing. And I gotta tell you, I was shaking, didn't want to let go. Your fingers just grip as hard as you can on the edge. You don't want to let go, but you know you've been trained. You know what to do. So you hold on, you're on the edge of that wing. You can feel the wind rushing past you. You feel the wind hitting you. And it just, everything in it, you don't want to, you're terrified, you're shaking. And your mind is just, get me out of this, get me out of this, get me out of here. And that's what happens in the fear, is you have only a certain amount of responses. You can either fight, flee, and in some cases, people just freeze and do nothing. So you're gripping it. And I look back over to the wing. I look back over at the instructor and on that side of the wing, and I'm holding. I'm looking back at me. He's telling me I gotta let go. You gotta let go. You gotta let go. So I close my eyes, which in retrospect is not something you should do. I look down, look up, let go. Eyes are closed now. And that wind took me, spun me around like a top. And the cord hit. Get that moment of free fall, the cord hits, boom, parachute comes out. But here's the kicker on this, and it is a kicker, because I had let go and let the wind take me, hadn't done what I needed to do. When that parachute released, it was so wrapped up in what's called the twisted, and you can't control that. So, and then all the fear is gone now. Now I'm in the parachute, I'm just floating toward the ground, but I don't have any control. I look up, the line's all twisted. I have to do something about it. And as with the training, which they taught me is a common thing that happened, is called line twist. So you gotta kick it out, kick it out, kick it out. And you're spinning back the other way. Then you finally get the rings and the handles, and now you can start turning, hitting the brakes, collapsing the chute, everything that did. Lucky for me, the way they had set it up was on a walkie-talkie, so they could speak to me. But they had it open the whole time so that I couldn't actually speak. So I couldn't get any direct discussion from them. I could hear them. But I couldn't speak back to let them know what I was doing. And they had me tracked down, got to about 250 feet, and you're about to land. And I'm such a badass. I'm gonna do this all by myself. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a run. I'm not gonna do a PLF, parachute landing fall, and just plop to the ground. I'm gonna do this. I'm landing on my feet, and I'm gonna walk this off. So wrong. I was so wrong. I landed about 100 yards off the mark, and I hit hard. I was running, but my feet couldn't keep up, and I smacked into the side of a little hill on a golf course, and I knew. I made it. It hurt, but I made it. And that's the key to it, is that it's gonna hurt. It'll hurt, but you just gotta push through. I would definitely do it again. Because it's one of those things where if you could do it once, you could do it again. And having the control was a big part of it, for sure. Best part about it is, if you do anything, say like public speaking, you get up on a stage, you're about to speak to somebody, you have the control. You look out in there. They don't see it. So just don't. You have to internalize that fear. It's there. It's gonna be there. No one wants to be in that situation. It's a ridiculous situation. You weren't built for that. Everything is happening so fast. You're not built for it. That's why you're afraid. But do it anyway. Just get out there and do it. And I would say that for life in general, is to go out there and just do it. Pick something that you're afraid of. Find something that no one would think that you would be able to do, or something that you don't even think you'd be able to do if you had to. And do it. Because you always gotta think, what if? What if I could do it? What if I pull it off? At the time, a year earlier, I was over 300 pounds, miserable person, unhappy. I did it. They don't put whales on. They don't put whales. Whales don't fly. So I did it. You can do it too. So